Okay, I figured to make a final video, final update to this Craftsman LT4000. I believe this to be a 1984, judging by serial number. One number says it could be into the 90s. It's definitely not into the 90s. I'll show you the actual serial number on here. I believe it would be the second set of numbers, so 001784. It's definitely not a 92. I cannot see this machine being a 92, especially with that particular engine. Anyways, that's besides the point. I have decided to sell this machine. It is currently listed for sale, so by the time this video comes out, hopefully it will be sold. This machine is far too nice to cut up. That's what originally the plan was for it. If it was in worse condition, most definitely that would have been its fate. The engine would have been pulled. The engine was actually supposed to go in that machine right there, but I have decided to keep it 100% original, considering this machine still has its original firewall plate. I have pointed that out in previous videos. It's still there. This is the very first machine I've ever seen that still on. So anyways, starts, runs, drives, the deck does function. The only thing that really does not work on it is reverse. It would probably work if you were to get the transmission freed up. The grease is probably just so sticky and hard in that transaxle, it just won't shift in reverse. The charging system works, headlights work, safety features all work. To get this machine running, all I had to do was replace the ignition coil. I did not have to clean the carburetor. I have never once touched the carburetor on this machine. The tires are a completely different story. Unfortunately, I did have to do some rednecking on two of them. That one right there, and the front right, or hoops and casings, whatever you want to call them. Tires or rims and tires, or hoops and casings, whatever you want to call them. So this one here, it was off for a good 2 weeks along with the back one. I originally warmed them up, got all the moisture out of them, I sealed them, and I tire slimed them, and so far they're holding. I have drove the machine since it was sitting right next to the racing lawnmower for quite some time. And that one's a bit soft. I'll pump it up tomorrow and maybe take it for another ride around the yard. It does have a battery. That's not the battery that came with it. The battery that came with it's actually in the Husqvarna. But overall, this machine is in good condition. It's too nice to scrap. It's too nice to cut up as a parts tractor. It needs to go to somebody who will fully restore it and bring it back to its glory. It's not overly rusty. There's no holes. There's no major issues with it other than the reverse. It's just an overall survivor. Yes, it's not overly rare, but it's something you don't see very often. You don't see these machines still in use too often nowadays. You might see the odd old timer with one still, but really everyone has a lot of the modern machines. Nobody is driving around and using these type of machines right here. As for price on this, I really don't know. Since I don't post my videos when they're up for sale, I don't post videos of my machines when they're up for sale, I can't really ask and get an idea on price. And for a machine like this, it's really hard to price it. It's probably a one of one, and being unlisted, one of one being currently listed, and its overall condition, it's very good. It's definitely something that's hard to list. It's something definitely hard to price. So I have it on best offer basically, and please contact, and it's on Facebook Marketplace as well. Unfortunately, on Facebook Marketplace you have to put a number in there, so most people, when they want to do best offer, they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So obviously it's not going to be worth $12,000, but a couple $100, I'd be happy out of this machine right here. On the higher end, definitely. I'm only into it for $110, so it's not too bad. And I think it would serve somebody some good use. Parts machine, I hope it doesn't go for a parts machine. This machine needs to be saved and this machine needs to be used, in my opinion. It's definitely something you don't see every day. Like I said, it's not vintage, I don't think. It's definitely not rare. It's just definitely something you don't see too often. So there we go, the saga of the all original 1984 Craftsman LT4000. The final video of it will be the slideshow whenever it does sell and whenever that does happen. So talk to them later. Please keep it redneck like always, and please subscribe and comment.